One must always be careful with books and what is inside of them, for words have the power to change us. So recently I went on holiday to Egypt, which is why I didn't upload last weekend. We spent most of our time at the resort, which meant that we were doing a lot of relaxing and sunbathing and things. And me, being the little bookworm I am, just had to bring a book along with me to read. 2 books, in fact. I managed to read 2 books in a week. 500 pages? 1,000 pages, there we go. And for me, there couldn't be a more perfect book to read on holiday than the Infernal Devices trilogy. Holiday is a time when you get away from the world. You leave everything behind you and escape. These books are the perfect escape. At least for me, anyway. It's just a completely different world that I just get so sucked into. And even when I'm not reading them, I am still within that world because my brain is just whirring with everything I've read and everything I've took in. And I have a desperate urge to just get straight back into it and start reading, and the emotions in the book override my emotions. Whatever worries I'm having, it don't matter, because for the love of God, what is going on in these books is far worse than I could imagine. They are stories of pain and love and hopelessness and desperation. They burn with fire and light. I couldn't really put into words my love for these books, nor could I describe them properly. I have no idea how on earth I am going to make a video where all I have to do is talk. But I just needed to make a video because I needed to talk about it to show my love for them, because they are my most favourite books in the whole entire world. This is a Clockwork Angel. It's the necklace. It is the necklace that Tessa Gray religiously wears throughout the series, and it regularly saves her life. I cosplayed as her when I went to Comic Con. I cosplayed as a modern version of her, and I bought this necklace for the cosplay because it wasn't obvious that I was her because I wasn't in a Victorian dress, but this necklace makes obvious. Partly because I have a fascination of the era, and partly because of these books, I have a desperation to see what the Victorian times were like. I really really want to go around wearing the dresses and the hats and the jackets they wear, and go to masquerade balls and just see what the time of that was like. It's a fascinating era with their fashion, the Industrial Revolution and all of that things, but these books just really want to live in this world more than anything, more than the Mortal Instruments world, more than Harry Potter. If 11-year-old me heard me say that, oh my god, these books are me. I am so emotionally attached to them. I'm fully invested into them. I don't even know why, but they just move me so much. They are a part of me. I can't even describe why I love them so much. Is it the characters? Oh god, definitely the characters. Oh, Tessa and Will and Jem and Charlotte and Henry and Sophie and, you know, the tall, handsome, dark Will Herondale, who is also mysterious and brooding, yeah, and secretly on the inside he's just like a little adorable puppy. And then Jem, oh, gentle and caring Jem, with his warm presence, his tragedy, and Tessa, her curiosity and her stubbornness and her love for books. She is a true heroine. I want to be Tessa. They make it into a film, I could play Tessa, despite the fact that I'm nowhere near tall enough and cannot do an American accent to save my life, and I have no acting experience, so there's really no hope for me. But I would adore to play Tessa. I would absolutely love it. It would mean more than anything in the world to be her. One of my favourite things about these books is the little poems you get at the beginning of each chapter, which kind of foreshadow or relate to the chapter in some way. And I've actually gone and marked my favourite one of these poems. So we have from the Clockwork Angel, chapter 2. Between two worlds, life hovers like a star, twixt night and morn upon the horizon's verge. How little do we know that which we are, how less what we may be. Lord Brian Donjour. Chapter 15. Ah God, that love were as a flower or flame, that life were as the naming of a name, that death were not more pitiful than desire, that these things were not one thing and the same. Algernon Charles Swinburne. Lass. Go to Clockwork Prince. Chapter 10. The virtue of angels is that they cannot deteriorate. Their flaw is that they cannot improve. Man's flaw is that he can deteriorate, and his virtue is that he can improve. Here's a Dick saying. I love that one. And my all-time favourite one in Clockwork Princess. Chapter 11. Though my soul may set in darkness, it will rise in perfect light. I have loved the stars too fondly to be fearful of the night. And Sarah Williams, the old astronomer. I love that one. I really, really love it. I think it's kind of just sums up the trilogy. The trilogy is a lot of darkness and despair, but at the same time there is so much love and hope between all of the characters that it keeps them all going, keeps them all burning like a flame till the end of the book. And she's such a beautiful writer, Cassandra Clare. I've read The Mortal Instruments, bar the last book, but there's something so different about the Infernal Devices, something about the way she writes. There are two scenes in these books that break my heart. There's one in The Clockwork Prince when Will goes to tell Tessa that he loves her, but she has to push him away because she is engaged to Jem. I can't deal with it. I cannot deal with it because Will and Tessa are my OTP. Every feeling Will goes through, I go through. My heart gets ripped out and it jumps for joy whenever they have happy moments. There is the second scene that makes me cry in Clockwork Princess. And it's when Tessa talks to Cicely about Will, and it relates to that scene where Tessa rejects Will. It demonstrates how beautifully she writes, I feel. And they talk about Will's curse, and Tessa talks. In any event, he loves you. I know that with Will, everything is backward and upside down, but the fact that he isn't here is only further proof to me of how precious you are to him. He is used to pushing away everyone he loves, and the more he loves you, the more violently he will try not to show it. But there is no cure. The habits of years are not unlearned so quickly, Tessa said, and her eyes were sad. Do not make the mistake of believing that he does not love you because he plays at not caring, Cicely. Confront him if you must and demand the truth, but do not make the mistake of turning away because you believe that he is a lost cause. Do not cast him from your heart, for if you do, you will regret it. I must draw this video to a close, I'm afraid. I could go on for ages about these books, but at the same time I couldn't because I wouldn't know how to put them into words. If you haven't read these books, I highly recommend that you do. It is, as I said, a completely different world. It is the perfect save. It is so beautifully written with such detailed and wonderful characters, and it's about pain and hardship and love and determination, emotional torture with demons and vampires and shadow hunters, and read them. Especially if you're into fantasy. I highly recommend them. I will see you next week. Have a good life. Goodbye.